You know, we are very impressed of our challenges here in Israel, but to think about 22 languages and more than 1 billion citizens to solve the cyber challenges to, it really gives kind of a new perspective or a different dimension to this challenge. And by the way, one of the senior Indian guests that were here in Israel, on his speech to the Israeli audience, said, "You and us together are 1.2 billion people that work on these challenges." So it was really, we were really thankful to get this way of including us together as one group. So we are about to have our last speaker for our session this morning, and I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Gil Rosen, who is the Chief Marketing and Innovation Officer of Bezeq. Please.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. How do you take invisible, complex, and many times concepts that are only understood by the industry and make them mass market? That was our challenge. How do we take cyber and IoT and market it to people who are not like the people sitting in this room? So in this room, we have people who understand this concept, read articles, work in the industry, but the larger population knows nothing about cyber or IoT. So how do we actually take such important concepts and make them mass market? That is the journey I'd like to take with you over the next 15 minutes and show you how we actually chose a positive approach, and hopefully one that you also heard about as consumers, and achieve double-digit market penetration in less than a year. So how do we, the industry, view the IoT domain? Volume?
Back in the M2M days.
We do smart buildings, we do smart schools, we do smart facilities.
We've been in the IoT space
since 1954.
We call it the Internet of Everything.
We do smart kids, we do smart parents.
The Internet of Us.
We only work with open source.
Could be Sigfox, could be LoRa, could be Weightless P.
We technically can't work with, we can work with Sigfox.
Yes, we're production ready.
So for us, IoT is not just the new niche that we're entering in. The IoT, as far as we're concerned, Bezeq is concerned, is the new internet. And it's not a category. IoT is going to be as big as the internet, if not bigger than the internet as we know it today, and it's going to take less time. Think about the internet that you know today back in 2002. Maybe you had a computer at home, maybe your mobile phone did not connect to the internet. That was the internet as we knew it. We are in the 2002 of the IoT age. In the next 5 years, the IoT revolution will take over the entire physical and digital world and be part of our life. And when this happens, new threats arrive. And that's why many people think of the IoT, as we call it, the IOST, the Internet of Scary Things. So what do we do?
We're just learning that hundreds of thousands of internet-connected devices played a major role in the cyber attack, which brought down huge parts of the internet in both the United States as well as here in Europe.
Did you know that DVRs were so readily hackable?
I didn't even realize it's possible to break in and hack a baby monitor.
Many people's webcams and DVRs that are connected to the internet in people's homes may have been used in this attack without people even knowing it.
This is actually being reported as the first time that internet connected devices are being used.
He hacked into the system through the Wi-Fi. People can now use computers to attack the locks on your doors, your HVAC and air conditioning systems, your refrigeration system.
How did the guy hack into the home baby monitor? How do you do that?
So we have a lot of new devices joining the internet, connecting to the networks at home, outside of our homes, and they're being attacked. And when we asked our customers what do they think about it, many of them, as much as 80%, feel they don't have the tools to protect themselves. Many of them know it's a problem, but don't think it's their problem. So why should anybody attack me? I'm not important. I live in a third-floor apartment in suburbia, Israel, or wherever. Why should anybody care about me? Why should the government can be attacked, an enterprise can be attacked, but why should anybody attack me? So, denial. And many people know it's a very important problem, but it's not a top priority. It's not a top priority. What they don't realize is that hacking into any one of these cyber or any one of these IoT gadgets is just the way in to their mobile phones, to their computers, to anything else in their homes. It's just a new door that we have in our house. And in fact, if you think about the very simple analogy of a door, would anybody here go to sleep in their homes, even if they live in the most secure neighborhood, and leave the door open? I don't think so. But in fact, that is exactly what we do. That is exactly what we do when we don't protect ourselves from cybersecurity threats in the IoT world that we live in today. What do I mean that we live in today? The Israeli market, and yes, we are a little bit more advanced maybe than other markets, but percentage-wise, in 2017, we saw a 50% increase in connected homes. That means there was a smart device other than your computer or your mobile phone or your DVR that connected to the internet. And 38% of homes have over 10 devices. That means almost 40% of the people sitting here, think about it, have more than 10 connected devices. Now, why is that a problem? Because almost, or maybe 50% of those, the mobile devices and the computers are managed. We have antivirus, we have some sort of updates from iOS or Android, but think about your DVR, think about your vacuum, think about all these other connected devices, they're unmanaged. You don't notice a change in behavior when they're hacked. And that is the threat. And in fact, the threat has been fulfilled. So 30% of people in 2017 experienced some kind of attack. And for us, we see this in the back end. So this is a snapshot. You can't see the numbers exactly, but we witness on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis millions of attempted attacks into our customers' homes, which we are protecting. And they're not hacking your computer. They're trying to attack your DVR, they're trying to attack your vacuum cleaner, they're trying to attack your anything that is connected. So we take this challenge and we ask, how do we change the conversation? From a marketing perspective, and this is the journey I want to take you through, I don't want to scare people. Scaring people leads to what you saw in the beginning, people just putting their head into the sand. It's somebody else's problem. I don't want to use the old tactic of the industry called FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. If we instill those in our customers, they will adopt our products. No. We wanted to take a positive approach, an innovative approach, and make sure they really understand what cybersecurity can do for them. So we had to think outside of the box and look for widely known positive paradigms that our consumers can connect to, that we don't have to educate them about, and then make that connection to our cyber products. So let's talk about take one. Take a widely known defense paradigm that everybody in this country knows about and connect it to home defense. And in take one, we chose to associate ourselves with the Iron Dome, Kippat Barzel, also known as the Golden Dome. This missile defense system is on the news daily. Everybody knows what the Iron Dome does. It protects our country. So what did we do? I can remember to this day the meeting that I sat in which we all got the push notification at the beginning of the month of May that Donald Trump is arriving in Israel in 20 days. We've been talking about this for a while now, and we knew this was the perfect opportunity to launch for the first time our cyber product. We had 20 days to prepare. Now, if anybody deals with marketing, production, advertising, media buying, creative, knows that 20 days is next to impossible, but we knew that the first time that Trump will visit Israel will only happen once. And we wanted to make an impact. And we wanted a news event that everybody will be watching. So Trump's arrive in Israel, the 22nd of May, 2017. At 8:31 p.m., he wraps up his news conference with Benjamin Netanyahu and a good old handshake. And we bought the advertising spot right after the news break. And immediately as the news conference finished, all the news channels were moving into the advertising break, and we started to air this commercial. Our presenter, Gidi Gov, going into the White House, putting on his Trump clothes because he just happened to wander into the Oval Office, and then being notified the White House is being attacked. We go scene by scene as his advisors walk into the Oval Office and say, "We had a break-in into the White House." And they take him to the war room, in which he breaks out into the speech and saying, "What? You don't have our Cyber, or what we call the Kippat Barzel shel habayit, the Iron Dome of the home," or as Gidi says it,
"Ze Kippa Barzel shel habayit."
And I have to tell you, in fact, because we aired it live immediately after the news conference, many international news outlets wrote stories about this commercial because it was a Trump spoof, and you know Trump has a lot of PR around him, and that hit the exact nerve that we wanted. Kippat Barzel shel habayit, the Iron Dome of your house. So that was how we launched the product. Immediate demand for the product, people just understood. And what's most important in our business, I need the people in the call center. When people call in and say, "Why do I need this?" For the rep to say, "You know what, the Iron Dome, right? You know what it is? This is the same, only for your home." And this is how we make our sales. Take two. A few months pass by, we gain momentum in our sales, but we need to keep moving. How do we do it? Again, we seize an opportunity. Connect to another well-known global paradigm, I hope that everybody knows about, the Force. Do you know the Force? Growing up with Star Wars movies, everybody somehow, somewhere, sometime tried to move something, protect something, using their bare hands, imagining there is some protection force, invisible protection force, protecting them. What did we do? We partnered with Disney. Israel was the place where Disney decided to do the global premiere for The Last Jedi. This was December 14th, 2017. Now, partnering with Disney is not easy. Disney control every part of your creative. They make sure every character has the right costume, that you do not make references to the movies you should not make, but we managed to come up with a script that actually allowed people to understand the connection between the invisible force in their homes, Cyber, our product, and the Force, the Disney Force, or the Jedi Force. And this is how it looked like.
Attention. Stephen, our lead Jedi,
has quit. We must find a new Jedi!
We found one on Google.
are you a Jedi?
Gidi רק בריטים ודקלון קוראים לי ג'די.
I feel a great power here, protecting you from the dark side.
אתה בטח חש את בי-סייבר. הכוח היחיד שמגן על כל מה שמחובר לאינטרנט בבית. על המחשב, על הקונסולה, על הסלולר, כל פה באפליקציה.
ג'די! הלך הפלורסנט באמבטיה.
קח דקלון. תעיר עם זה.
שהכוח היה איתך, ג'די.
קבלו את האינטרנט המוגן בגלקסיה.
You must be sensing the invisible force protecting you at home. Again, when you talk about cyber, and people in this room, I can talk about all the technical details, but people outside this room care less about technical details. I need to implant a very simplistic, widely known, positive notion in their mind and connect it with our service. And these two commercials connected the dots. We had the Kippa Barzel, the Iron Dome of the home, and then the force, and we're continually working on it. And these notions are the ones that allow us to market a fairly, again, complex and invisible service and make it popular. So, the most protected internet in the galaxy. Now I want to take a few steps back and talk about the product. The product is just as important in this journey. Because again, cyber is invisible, and fighting cyber is invisible. And we wanted to make it visible. So we actually created a super user-friendly application that allows users to understand what's going on in the background. We collaborated with a highly technical and talented company called SAM. And together we built a mass market product that users download, an app that shows you what the internet looks like at home. You see how many devices are connected, you see if you're getting attacked, you're seeing the strength of the password, you're seeing who surfs, when people connect, everything in a super user-friendly way. And for the first time, instead of talking about cyber, we actually make the invisible internet visible. And for the last take, because we're in a continuous journey, which we just came out of last month, and I believe probably 99.9% of the Israeli people in this room, at least, have seen this journey, is the launch of our signature router called B. We launched it during the Independence Day, 19th of April of this year. We launched B. B, I think, and I say this with confidence, but I'm not going to say for 100%, it's probably, like the beer commercial says, it's probably the best router in the world. But the most important part of this, and strategic part of this, is that we decided this time we're not going to even ask our customers if they want or don't want the cyber protection. We are making cyber protection active in the router as a default setting. If we introduce to the market the most advanced router that makes you ready for the digital and for the IoT world, it must be with a door. We, as the builders of the digital home, cannot sell you a home and give you a home and say, here's your house, but let me know if you want a door. You wouldn't imagine buying a house and just having a door as an option. The door is not an option, it's part of the house. And that is the strategy that we opted for in B. Cyber active inside, simple to use and friendly app, blocks and shows you if people are trying to hack you. And 1 year later, I think, I hope, I believe, we're slowly and surely taking the S out of IOST. We have shown significant double-digit market growth. We are in the midst of helping regular customers understand the product and actually use it and have more and more homes in Israel protected. Thanks.
Thank you, Gil, for your last talk. And admit that looking at these type of commercials and advertisement as kind of a fun journey of a telco to reinvent itself and to find its cyber goal and cyber role is really interesting and part of our challenges. So to conclude, we had a session with several different speakers with different perspectives, part of them technological, other more than conceptual, ideas, marketing, and other principles. And I hope that you take from this session things to think about them later today. And I hope it was interesting, and it was my pleasure and our pleasure to be with you here on this session. And it's the right time to invite you for a 1-hour lunch break here at the conference, and have a great day and a great visit here in Israel. Thank you.